We're here at AUSA 2018 and I'm talking with Dave Hartzell, President, Mack Defence. Dave, we're standing beside an example of Mack's M917A3. I understand that Mack Defence has just been awarded a contract by the US DoD for this particular vehicle. Could you tell us a little bit about it and a little bit of history of the programme?
Yes, Mack Defence was awarded this program from the US Army in May of this year. It was competed, the RFI and the RFP came out in 2017, so it was about a 9-month source selection until they awarded the program to Mack Defence. There was 2 competitors. It was Mack Defence and also Navistar Defence. Mack Defence, fortunately, was the recipient of the award. The program started about 2014 or so is when they originally defined the requirements for the heavy dump truck. There was RFPs on the street at the time, but then the U.S. Army pulled those away and decided to change the specification requirements. So then they spent a couple of years doing testing and evaluations, talking to industry about what was possible using a commercial-based platform. And then they ultimately decided what they wanted as their performance requirements, and then that's when they recompeted the program. And fortunately, Mack Defence was able to win that award. So.
And this truck is based on a Mack commercial granite platform. Could you tell us the differences between the base commercial product and this as it will be delivered to the DoD?
Yeah, fundamentally it is a Mack granite axle forward. So it is one of our standard commercial vehicle platforms that we put into the industry. Mack typically has a very high percentage of the U.S. market for dump truck applications. So this truck is based on that. The 917A3 is based on our Mack granite axle forward. Some of the main differences really that create the 917A3 are the U.S. Army had objective requirements for payload. They had minimum threshold requirements, and then they had objective level requirements. So we wanted to be able to meet the objective level requirement for payload, which was a #1 rated criteria for the program. So what we designed is we took existing commercial suspension systems and axle systems, but integrated those into the commercial granite platform to be able to meet the 27-ton objective payload. So that's one of the main differences between this vehicle and our standard commercial platform. But again, they're basically existing commercial solutions that we just borrowed and integrated into our basic design. Some of the other requirements, they do have a force protection requirement, so there is an armored cab variant of this vehicle as well. So we had to design an armored cab that met the force protection requirements as stipulated by the U.S. Army. So we designed it as a separate replaceable cab. So the majority of the vehicles the Army will buy will have our standard commercial cab on them, and then when they want an armored solution, we have a separate cab that replaces the commercial cab, and again designed specifically to meet the Army's requirements for force protection. Then some of the other normal type of militarization features are the vehicle has to be able to run off a JP8 fuel or high sulfur diesel. So obviously our standard commercial vehicles of today run off ultra low sulfur diesel and are compliant with U.S. current emissions like US 17 emissions. So this vehicle, quite honestly, it does not have the emission systems on board because it's exempt from emissions because it's for the military and has to run off high sulfur diesel. So those are the main differences between our commercial platform and the M917A3.
And you say the vehicle will have an armoured cab. Do you have a partner for the cab armouring?
We do. Tenkate is our partner for the force protection system. So we worked with them. They engineered the system for us. Both the ballistic protection, the blast protection. They sourced the transparent armor. They sourced the blast seats, which are from Janko Corporation. And we've built that and we've tested assets already and know that we can meet the Army's requirements. And again, at most of their objective level requirements for the force protection. And then secondly, Mack, we will not produce the armored cab ourselves. We partner with JWF Defense Systems in Pennsylvania, who will be actually the manufacturer of the armored cab. So they will do the weldment of the cab based on Tenkate's engineering design. So.
And interestingly, looking at this particular vehicle, the rear tridem is super singles, which is quite unusual even in the States. Was there a particular driver for that choice?
Yes, the U.S. Army wants the same wheel used in all wheel locations. The vehicle comes with one spare tire that must be mounted on the vehicle. So that's why we had to go to super singles all the way around, so that you use the same wheel or same tire and wheel front to rear on the vehicle. So that's a specific requirement of the U.S. Army.
And finally, if I may, are there any quantities, delivery timelines, or that sort of thing that you can share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the program timeline is ordering year 1, which is occurring right now. The U.S. Army is ordering 5 what they call production verification test vehicles. So they will be used, we will deliver those vehicles in May of next year, or by May of next year, or 2019. Those vehicles will go to Aberdeen Proving Ground for 40 weeks of performance vehicle testing. So that's the first deliverable. Ordering year 2, which will then occur immediately after that, the U.S. Army will order 6 additional vehicles, which will be armored. And they will do the force protection testing and verification on that system. And then ordering year 3, which will be roughly in mid-2020, will start a full production. The contract was for 683 vehicles, so that's what, at this point, that's what we're working towards to be able to provide to the U.S. Army.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed.